This is an Evergreen Media Network studio production.
Welcome back to Classic Car Radio of Vero Beach, and we're still here.
Yeah.
Keith's not. Woohoo! He did right. Say we got some auto history real quick.
Hi, Keith.
And then we'll get some tech talk in, and then we'll finish up with the car shows. March 11, 2009, Toyota sells its 1 millionth hybrid car in the United States. Hybrid. At least it's better than all electric. You know?
Yeah.
Yep, they went further. You don't need a charging station.
Right. You just plug that in, right? You don't need a
Right.
special charging for that, right?
Yep.
And then, March 12th, 1831, Clement Studebaker was born.
Really?
And I guess that's how we got the Studebaker. March 12th, 1990, first collision involving two cars equipped with airbags.
Wow.
I guess.
Imagine that, 1990.
Yeah, 1990, airbags. I wonder if they were Cadillacs. March 14, 1938, OPEC cuts oil prices.
Hondas.
What? Hondas?
Yeah.
OPEC cuts oil prices for the first time in the group's 23-year history to 29 a barrel from 34. Now what do we get? We're probably up over 100 now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Probably way more than that.
Yeah.
Can't really afford to drive anymore.
Yeah, I know, right? March 16, 2003, closest NASCAR finish. Ricky Craven wins the Darlington 500, crossing the finish line 0.002 seconds ahead of Kurt Busch.
I remember that. I watched that race.
Did you? Now, didn't they just have one the other day that...
It was 3 wide and it was 003 with 3 cars.
Oh,
Yeah.
003 with 3 cars.
But that was the separation, I think, between all 3.
And that's with Kyle Busch was in that one.
Yeah, it was Kyle Busch and then Ryan Blaney and then
the guy that won.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who won.
It was one of the kids that won.
Was it William Byron?
I think it was Byron.
No. It was who's driving the number 10 car this year? It's
Can't think of it, huh?
Ozzy Osbourne.
No, I can't remember. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I saw that. I saw the finish, and real quick side note: Kyle Busch, I guess, posted on his Instagram page or his Twitter page or X, whatever they call it now. If he only had a few more inches, he would have won. And his wife chimed in right after it and said, "I've been telling you that for 20 years. You need a couple more inches."
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty funny that she said that.
Yeah. His wife's a trip.
So that's pretty much a way of saying you got a little winky there, Kyle Busch. I will do some tech talk.
Is it Noah Gragson, the driver?
What's that?
Noah Gragson.
Is that who won that race?
Number 10.
Number 10.
That's what Google's coming up with.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Was it him or Daniel Suarez?
It might have been Suarez that just won that last race.
Yeah, it was Daniel Suarez because Kyle Busch pushed him.
Right.
That's what it was. And then Kyle Busch, he tried to come around him and thread the needle in the middle, and then they both side drafted off him, and he lost it.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, so that was .003.
Yep.
So that's close enough.
Between 3 cars, I think is what it was. It was 0.003 thousandths of a second between 3 cars.
Yeah.
But that was crazy because it took him 15, 20 minutes. I remember that because he was driving around. He's like, "Well, who won?" And he's like, and Kyle was like, "Well, I got side drafted off. I know I lost, but he's like, it was close." And then Blaney was on the radio thinking he won, and then I think it was Daniel Suarez was the 99 car. He was on there saying, "I think I won." And it took NASCAR a couple minutes to figure it out.
Yeah. Imagine if you have
Suarez.
It was Suarez? There you go. Thanks, Jesse. So we'll do some tech talk. Al from the internet asks, guys, the evaporator, my 75 Olds Cutlass Olds Hurst is freezing up. The compressor then cycles every 15 seconds. Happens in maximum and normal or any fan speed. What is happening? Any ideas? Guys?
Well,
could be low on Freon. Then he also might need, had to put the new switches in it.
Yeah. Or it could have crap built up on it, maybe. And it's not.
It's hard to say. You'd have to see the pressures on it because it could be low on Freon, and then it just could be a cycling switch too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if it's cycling, you might as well put put a set of gauges on, it's going to tell you right off the bat, especially before it gets, running too long.
Hey, the compressor goes. What the compressor? Oh, it's freezing up. So what is that? The lines are freezing up. Is that what happens?
Yeah,
The
something
lines freeze up.
Something here on about the pressure switches, but
You don't think that's it?
Could be, yeah, because it does the pressures, but you got to see where your pressures are at. Is it low or is it high?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and being that back then they had that, the temperature thing that was clamped on the.
Yep, that's why somebody got to change that. Because then you got the new frame, you got to change that. The old cars, like we just did.
Yeah.
I don't know. We probably did 7 of them this. Actually, we probably did 5 or 6 this year already. Because we're doing a C10, 67 C10.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Made green, pretty nice truck.
What are you putting in it?
It's got a small block in it. We're doing vintage air, serpentine belt system.
Do they have an AC system in it? No.
Nope.
Yeah.
But I got the training switch to put the fans on, so when you turn the AC on, they come on properly.
Right. That's what it needs to do. Yeah.
The
Scotch locks.
No. This ain't the other shop. What are you talking about? We do stuff right.
There you go. All right. Ralph in Fort Pierce asks.
I won't even touch that one.
All right, yeah, don't touch that one. Ralph in Fort Pierce asks, Todd,
Yeah.
I'm in the process of rebuilding an Olds 455. This is going in my 72 Cutlass. There's a 350 in there now. The numbers that I am expecting are about 450 horsepower and 400 foot-pounds of torque. Here are the additions: 10-to-1 compression, board 30 over, Edelbrach Perform intake, Lunity cam, 373 gears. So I'm in need of some carb suggestions. And you guys have been changing carbs now for weeks on everything. I hear a lot of Edelbrachs are terrible. What does everyone successfully run? We'll have to get some sort of a plate to make a non-EB carb mate to the EB intake.
Did he say it had some big cam in it? I'm sorry.
It just says a Lunati cam. Doesn't tell you how big it is.
I would probably run a Holley or Quick Fuel, something like that.
Yeah. No bigger than a 650 though, right? You start going up to 750s.
I don't know, maybe 750, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I have a 70-year-old 450 or 442 in the shop now. I did a 455.
Right.
And we did a Edelbrach 750 because that's what the customer wanted. And we just did heads and cam and all that stuff on it.
Right.
Yeah.
And the 750 is fine with that one.
Yeah, seemed to do all right.
Yeah, it's taking enough,
Yep.
It's not overloading the fuel in there or anything.
Nope. I can't picture it on a big
it's a big
455.
That 455 will make that 450 horsepower all day with a good set of heads and cam and 10-to-1. Because I know it's what we just went with, and we did some roller rockers and all that stuff, and it put down that.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if it was mine, I'd put a 750 on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Holley.
We did the 750 Edelbrach on it. That's what the customer requested, and it runs good.
Yeah, a lot of guys have different opinions of Edelbrachs, and I know Edelbrach, they make good, valve covers. They supposedly make good heads. I don't know if they do or not.
I just had a customer come in the shop, and I'm not going to mention any names. It was done here locally at a shop here in town. Guy charged him about $1,195, I think it was, to put a 750 carburetor on his car as a Holley. Won't go into a whole bunch of details because it'll rat out who it is. But I could care less. The guy don't like me, and I really don't care for him.
Right.
But it wasn't tuned right.
Okay.
And it didn't have the right carburetor base gasket on it, and then the intake was completely hogged out like my orange car. You have to cut the base gasket when you put the carburetor on to fit the intake, so the gas will flow off the base gasket properly.
Right.
Otherwise, it just doesn't idle that well. And that was the problem. The guy's like, the cam this, the cam that, $3.99 gasket and about an hour's worth of labor. I got that car running like a rape tape, and that guy was, blankety blank Holley, this, and this. I'm like, it's only as good as the person who sets it up. And I'll never claim to be the best technician in the world, but you got to look at what you got and start from scratch.
Yeah.
Yes, and you do get bad parts. We've had our issues with bad parts and stuff. I've had a fuel pump years ago. We got 5 or 6 of them before we finally got a good one when we rescued cats out of that van because that van was there for so long. But, I think it was 6 fuel pumps before we finally got a good one.
Got one that worked.
Yeah, but I just looked at the carburetor, and you could tell the car was running way too fat. You pull a couple plugs out, and then you could hear it. It was struggling to run. It just needed to be adjusted. And then a lot of people still try to run vacuum advance.
Yeah.
You got a car that's got a good radical cam. I'm sorry, I won't use a vacuum advance. That's my preference.
Yep.
You do what you want with your cars, but I'm going to set the car up with no vacuum advance.
Really?
But I got that car running. Like I said, I just had to change the base gasket, and that guy was ready to throw the carburetor through the wall.
Really?
And he said the original Holley that I had on was older, and he says, you know, it needed to be rebuilt, but he just bought a new one. But, you know, it's some people love Holleys, and some people love the Edelbrachs. Edelbrachs, to me, are an okay carburetor for, like, an everyday street use. But if you want a little more performance, me, preferably, I'm like Todd. I'd rather go the Holley.
Right.
Yeah.
And do you guys use a lot of spacers or no?
Only if you have to.
Anyway, what
sometimes you
the
have
point of the spacer is to what? The heat. Yeah, right.
You know, if you're having heat issues, it's really about, you know, and, you know, application case. You know, it depends on what intake you're putting on. If you've got a shallow intake, right, and your linkage is too, you know, might connect with the intake, so right, you know, you got to raise it up a little bit if you can. You know? Yeah. So there's a lot of different reasons why you would do that.
It's just, you know, it depends what you need, and you got to tweak it and take your time with it, you know.
Yeah.
And the old 455, that's a good motor.
Oh yeah.
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 That'll last for a while.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. All right, Jess. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll answer Kyle's question in Port St. Lucie and Lenny from Vero Beach, and we'll do some car shows, and we'll be done. We'll be right back.
Have you ever wanted your carpets or area rugs cleaned, but you just didn't want to deal with the noise, the wet carpet, and that long dry time? And what happens to all that wet stuff underneath the carpet? Ew! Well, Heaven's Best Carpet Cleaning solves all that with their guaranteed 1-hour dry time. Their low moisture process dries fast, smells great, and it's safe for your kids and pets too. And guess what? They also clean sofas, love seats, chairs, and recliners. Heaven's Best serves all of Indian River County and Barefoot Bay. They're bonded and insured, and your results are guaranteed. Don't put it off any longer. Grab your phone and call Keith at Heaven's Best, 772-643-6999. You'll be thrilled with the results. 772-643-6999.
Hi, I'm Eric Flowers, your Indian River County Sheriff, and we are hiring immediately. Get involved in an exciting career and help your community thrive. Featured on Reels Channel's show On Patrol Live, the Indian River County Sheriff's Office is committed to keeping our neighborhoods safe. Open positions in law enforcement, dispatch, and corrections include benefits. Visit ircsheriff.org for more information. Get your new career started today.
Step into the heart of New York City's secrets at the Yankee Tavern, where every drink holds a story and every patron has a tale to tell. From the depths of conspiracy to the heights of comedy, experience a thriller like no other. Uncover the secrets lurking in the shadows of the Yankee Tavern. Yankee Tavern opens on the Waxlax stage at the beautiful Riverside Theater in Vero Beach on March 19th. But you don't have to wait. Get your best tickets now at the box office or riversidetheater.com.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats and chairs in all the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of Berlin Gardens and Bollywood. We specialize in fire pits, outdoor rugs, umbrellas, and replacement cushions. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Family owned and operated since 1991. Don't forget to visit our outlet store directly across the street, filled with lots of name brand closeouts and sale items. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Ooh, how about sunshine day? Sunshine.
There we go. Welcome back to Classic Car Radio. Todd's jamming it out. Steve was just trying to keep awake because he's working his butt off over there at that shop.
Yeah.
Hey, is that the song that keeps Keith up all night long?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
Is it?
No.
No, it's not that. It's
Oh, you're supposed to play that.
You're supposed to play that. We discussed this.
Hey, play it on the way
I'll
out.
play it out. Okay.
All right, we'll get back
Payback.
to answer some questions. Kyle in Port St. Lucie X. Todd, there's a lot of play in this.
Steve's here.
Hey, that's it.
It's all about Todd.
It's all about Todd.
Oh,
Steve's
hey.
very tired today. He's been working too hard.
Well, I'm ready to go. I got enough 5 rounds in me.
There you go. There's a lot of play in the steering in my 65 Mustang. It's a little disconcerting when driving. I don't rebuild stuff. I saw a video on an adjustment that can be made. Looks like a nut is loosened, then a screw is turned a bit, then a nut is tightened. But have you had a similar experience with a pony car, and were you able to improve the steering? What's the best way to improve your steering on a 65 Mustang?
You check his rag joint first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Hey, I was going to start with it.
Yeah.
Check the loose nut behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Just check everything, you know.
Just kidding, Kyle.
I'd look at the rag joint first, and then you can try adjusting the gearbox, but
That can go either way. Sometimes
Yeah.
you can adjust it, make it worse.
yeah,
But also check all your front end parts, too.
yeah, that too. Yeah,
Because these Mustangs are known for the lower controller bushings to go bad all the time.
Oh, really?
yeah.
And, they got the idler arm, pitman arm. Make sure all your linkage is good and tight first.
Yeah.
That's
You
it.
got it, dude.
That's it.
But, yeah, be careful adjusting a nut.
Yeah.
Mark the threads, count how many twists you go, because if you make it worse, you want to go back the other way.
Yeah, most people forget that.
Yeah, you don't want to over-adjust it, because if you over-adjust it, you can actually make it worse. And then sometimes if you don't make it worse, you can make it like super sensitive, like if you turn the wheel a little bit and it's going to jolt.
Yeah.
So just be careful. Remember how much you turned it and which way you went.
Do all cars have the rag joints, or just certain?
Most
that
of the
one
old cars.
does.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, do all Fords
All
have
the-
rag joints? And
Pretty much the majority of all the older cars, like Steve was saying, they all, pretty much all of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Most of the
Yeah,
newer
that
cars,
was-
they got rid of some of the rag joints and they made the little steering couplers with the U joints and all that stuff. But
Right.
Yeah.
I'd probably say pretty up to like early 2000s. Most of those things still had the rag joints in it.
Yeah,
Really?
they're more of like a breakaways feature.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, in case like, you get into like a front end collision or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's made to
pretty
crumble,
much.
break
Yeah.
apart.
Oh, really? Yeah. There you go. Didn't know that.
Save your kneecaps in the accident.
Yeah.
Because there ain't no airbags coming off on you in a 65 Mustang.
Yeah. It's like a guy that's like, Todd,
Yeah.
super tall.
Yeah.
I look like an ostrich in most of the cars. Yeah.
All right, another one. Here we go. Lenny, at least, we had an old question, a Ford question. Here we come with a Chevelle question.
All right.
I have stripped the entire inside of my replacement quarter panels for my 66 Chevelle. I'm ready to epoxy prime them. What do you think about putting a strip of tape along the edges where the spot welds go? I would then spray the epoxy, take off the tape, and spray the taped area with weld-through primer. Is that overthinking, or is there a better way?
So he didn't use any kind of weld-through primer before he spot welded it on?
It doesn't even sound like he even...
That's not a good idea, man.
No, huh?
Yeah, he obviously spot welded it on, so he had to have some decent equipment.
Right.
And really, most people don't really know, but like through ICAR standards, which is a collision type procedure,
Right.
you should panel bond between the two and then squeeze weld those panels. If you spot welded, squeeze welded, it'll weld right through that, and it's
Really?
a corrosion protector in one. But it's not going to matter a whole lot where those spot welds are once it's already on, because your corrosion is going to be between the two panels that are spot welded. So there's no way you're going to get corrosion protection, his etch
Inside.
primer in it.
Right.
So you might as well, if he plans on epoxying it or whatever, I'm not a big fan of epoxy, but you can etch prime it.
Etch prime
But
instead of
epoxy
epoxy primer? Or?
Put in an epoxy bare to metal
Right.
type primer. You can't put it over an etching primer.
Gotcha.
It doesn't adhere probably. Epoxy needs to go right over bare metal.
Gotcha. All right, Lenny, that is your question. John in Palm Bay asks, I was using the waterless spray on my Buick GS, and I can see a few bubbles in the clear coat. Can this be buffed out or not? It was
No.
on the hood. I didn't notice them anyplace else. Can you wet sand and buff that or no?
What are you talking about?
He has bubbles in his clear coat. He was using the waterless spray on his Buick GS, and you could see a few bubbles in the clear coat.
You got bubbles. You got troubles, bro.
Oh, yeah, you can't.
Bubbles equal troubles. I've heard that before.
So there's no wet sanding and buffing.
No, if you got a bubble,
man,
as soon as you take that, it's going to come off.
Take the hood off, strip it down to bare metal. Or better yet, bring it to Steve and let him take it for me. He needs more work.
Yeah, he calls me and sends me customers all the time. He's like, hey, I'm going to send you one. He's like, no, you're not.
So yeah, the answer that Keith found was wet sand and then buff. You say you don't do that with a bubble at all.
If you got a bubble, no.
You got a bubble, you're wasting your time.
Really?
Now, if he's talking like a waterless spray and he got like not a bubble but like a water spot on it, I don't know if that's what they're trying to say and he thinks it's a bubble.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
It just says I can see a few bubbles in the clear coat.
Yeah, I mean, if the clear is bubbling, you're done. Is history.
It's got to
get
if it's a water spot or something, you might be able to.
Yeah, you might be able to sand and buff it that way.
If it's a bubble, no, bubble is trouble.
That's
Bubble's
right.
trouble.
Bubble's got some troubles.
All right. Well, we'll save the other question that Jerry from Fellsmere has.
The comedy here.
Bubble makes trouble.
That's what Ty always says. If you got bubbles, bro, you got trouble.
That's right.
That's where I got it from.
Again, well, this weekend is the big car show, 45th Annual Antique Automobile Show at Riverside Park. Steve, you're definitely going to make it or what? You going to make it there? You bringing a car? You're not bringing a car? You're bringing a Camaro? You're bringing a Chevelle? You're working? You don't have time.
I'll try to come, but I won't be bringing a car. I ain't got nothing that's...
Riding Polly's.
But yeah, we could probably get his car done. I could put the gearbox on my black Chevelle and I could probably drive it. I just don't know if the lifter will make it.
Right.
But I got something for that, though.
You ain't got no time for that.
Yeah. So that's the 45th Annual Antique Auto Show at Riverside Park in Vero Beach. And that's Saturday, March 16th. And then Sunday, we got the St. Patrick's Day River Days and Craft Brew Hullabaloo, full meet of the Shrimp Fest. And that's at Riverview Park in Sebastian, Sunday, March 17th from 10 to 2. And then I was given this flyer at the Elks the other day. The Summer Crush Winery and Vineyard is having a car show March 24th. They said it's the Treasure Coast Mopar Nationals and Spring Cruisin' Open Car and Truck Show. And that's being hosted by the No Name Car Club. I guess they do all the shows at the Summer Crush Winery. Have you guys ever been there?
No, but I talked to the owner. He's a pretty nice dude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the No Name Car Club is doing their show March 24th at the Summer Crush Winery, and that is in 4200 Johnston Road, Fort Pierce, March 24th. Also, March 24th from 11 to 1, Indian River Estate Senior Living is having a quick cruise in. That's located at 2250 Indian Creek Boulevard, which is Route 60 West after 74th Avenue in Vero Beach. You go through the guard gates, straight through the stop sign, bail left for the main building, parking in front. And it's always fun to go to senior living because the people get a kick out of seeing the cars when you go there, you know?
They do.
Yeah.
They always have, they wheel them out or they walk out. It's pretty good. And then my buddy Steve up in Cool Cars up in Palm Bay is having his classic car show Saturday, April 20th, and that's going to be at the Grant Barbecue Fest, located 4580 First Street, and that's in Grant. And that's in April 20th. You could email coolcars, KOOLKARZ1 at Hotmail for any information, or you could go to Cool Cars website, and that'll tell you what to do. But that's usually a fun show. It's outside. It's during the barbecue festival. You get a free T-shirt with your with your registration fee. And Steve's a good guy.
Yeah.
So come out and support them.
He's got a nice Cuda.
Yeah. I think he's just sold it. I think he just sold the Cuda. I know he was bringing it to 2 auctions. So I don't know whatever happened.
I talked to him. He said he didn't sell it.
Oh, all right. So maybe he still has it.
Yeah.
Well, you're ahead of us.
All right. So that's it.
Sunday.
That's it, boys. We're
Adios,
done.
Muchachos.
See ya. Keith, feel better, and we'll see you next week. Hopefully, Keith will be back.
Yeah,
we're out of here.
Quit nursing it.
Yeah.
Peace.